Get upset on the internet, you're a salt adult, you're a salt adult. Get upset on the internet, you're a salt adult. Throwing out a hissy fit, your views ain't in the millions, and every up and comer is a threat to what you're dealing. And instead of getting better, you just spout up on your Facebook, crying on your Twitter bit about how bad your case look. In case you didn't get it yet, allow me to rephrase it. You're more than my 4-year-old, I'm actually amazed. Like you couldn't even see the forest for the trees. The writing's on the wall, literally there to see. How you getting salted, a culture blowing up, man? I think there was a point where you started growing up, man. Instead of showing up, man, irrationally mad. Don't appropriate impression like the latest fashion fad. It isn't cool or funny to be acting like an edgelord. You alienate friends, pushing closer to the edge more. I don't know how to say it anyway to make it clear. If you're the one unhappy, then the problem's in the mirror. Get upset on the internet, you're a salt adult, you're a salt adult. Get upset on the internet, you're a salt adult. The net is a repository for the vast expanses of human knowledge and all the technological advances. And I can't say enough how you gotta be open-minded. Cause if you're looking for a fight, then you damn well find it. You got an axe needs grinding, you're not alone. There's a million other nerds who can bitch and moan and groan about how there's a release date delay of the new game. Man, decrease the cliche of your neckbeard. I'm afeared of the intensity of your love for two characters. You claim I've got some chemistry and they belong.
Hi everybody, welcome to Retro Station 1989. I'm Commander Dan, the commander and lone human inhabitant aboard the Retro Station, and this is License to Play, where we evaluate retro games that were based on licensed properties, things like movies, video games, well heck, breakfast cereal, soft drinks. Let's just say if it had a license and it was made into a retro game, we evaluate to let you know whether or not you should play it. And this week, after cleaning up the mess that so-called Macho Christ made last week, we're back. We were not canceled, contrary to popular belief. And thanks, Space Pirates, and welcome aboard to all our new Space Pirates who've just recently followed me here on YouTube and over at Twitch. I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. And this week we're evaluating a license that kind of slipped out of my reckoning when it came out in the early 2000s. But folks, I gotta say I do have respect for the creator of the source of this week's evaluation.
Commander Dan, we're coming into range again for Planet X annual evaluation in 2 weeks. I'm making all appropriate preparations.
Thanks for the update, Margot. Spring cleaning has come, and I've nearly missed Sci-Fi Month.
Sci-Fi Month! That's Sci-Fi Month.
That was Sci-Fi Month, and that was way back in April. Anyway, this week we're doing a sci-fi game for Sci-Fi Month, so let's get into the evaluation. The year is 1999, New Year's Eve, and the world held its breath waiting for the calamitous destruction of the world's computers and networks due to a catastrophic oversight in how computers evaluate dates. Yeah, that crap didn't happen. Basically, some computers glitched for a day or so. The rest have been brought up to standard due to diligent software engineers and systems analysts like my dad who averted disaster due to a president's eye on tech here in the United States. Yeah, I know. I thought this dude was all about grab ass and playing hot saxoboom on Arsenio Hall's show. By the way, Arsenio Hall, where are you, brother? We need you today. Arsenio had Jason Voorhees on as a guest, for crying out loud. Anyway, the world didn't end, and 2000 rolled along like most other years, except there was something in the air that, in the history of genre television and science fiction in general, hadn't happened before. A new force appeared and swept over the television waves, that of the badass chick lead character. The Dark Angel series premiered on October 3rd, 2000, and reached 17.4 million viewers. The premise of the show is that a genetically modified super soldier, Max Guevara, escapes from a military project called Manticore as a child. American society collapsed, and in a near-future Seattle, Max tries to lead a normal life while eluding government hunters, also while trying to locate her brothers and sisters from the project. The show was a big hit, drawing 10 million viewers a night. However, in the second season, following a disastrous time change, the fans dropped off and ultimately the show was canceled. The truth of the matter seems to be that James Cameron delivered a high-concept show with a massively huge budget, and while it was pulling in numbers, the difference was, unlike films which pay off when folks go to see it, television, on the other hand, requires ad revenue. And there just wasn't enough revenue for the budget that they were paying for the show. Cameron said, if we have an audience, we deserve to be on the air. If we don't have an audience, we should be off the air. but his show cost more than any profit Fox was seeing on their books, so cancellation. The show was inspired by Battle Angel Alita, a very short-run manga series. I've owned a couple of the collected editions over my lifetime, and it has a great story about a military-grade android being brought to life, and she goes to work as a gladiatorial fighter to get her and her adopted father passage to the city above their slums. And James Cameron loved this story, so much that he spent years trying to adapt it to film. And when he finally managed it, okay. Ugh. Alright, so it's like this. I appreciate all the money and effort he threw at making a very American version of one of my favorite manga and OVA, a super rare OVA from what I understand. It was a nice attempt. But I watched a bit of Dark Angel, and here's a commercial for the Dark Angel premiere. Look at that box office level graphics. And here's a commercial for Season 2, where it looks like Dark Angel's adventures take place in much cheaper locales and looks like lost episodes of Street Hawk. Oh, this is Street Hawk. If you want to know more about Street Hawk, I don't know, go to your local library or check out Secret Galaxy. They have a lot of shows, and they did one on Street Hawk, and it was actually really good. They also talk about toys related to genre film and genre TV. It wasn't much later that the show was canceled, of course, but the schedule moves and budget cuts made it clear that Fox didn't want this show that was breaking even rather than making the money on anymore. And fans of Firefly know exactly how Fox treats shows that have a fan base but just aren't farting out money into their faces like a very specialized kind of hooker. Today, we're talking about James Cameron's Dark Angel for the original Xbox by Sierra and Vivendi Universal. The game is based on stealth action, hand-to-hand combat, and serves as an extension of the canceled Dark Angel TV series. There were many questions left in the week of Season 2 of Dark Angel, but the only one we care about, my Space Pirates, is... That's right, does Dark Angel have a license to play? So the game was intended to be the next season of Dark Angel, but starts with a basic punch 'em up and kick 'em down level to give you a tutorial on the fighting system, and the graphics are good for the time, is what I normally say, but these polygons are meant to compete with this over on PS2? It's just that a year later almost, and the team is making Dark Angel comes up short in the visuals department. But this is a boilerplate issue with many licensed games. I mean, development time is short, and they need to strike when the iron is hot. Kojima and his team finished the design document in 1999 and had 2 whole years to complete the game. And Dark Angel didn't have that. It was announced in May 2002 and released in November of the same year. So most levels revolve around smack 'em, whack 'em, kick, punch affairs with groups of different skin baddies, who all will patiently wait to fight you one at a time. And it follows along with the last season's plot of Max taking the fight to Manticore, which involves punching and kicking, sometimes tonfa, sometimes fighting a boss. You know, playing this game is like wading into a long-lost swampy pond. There's every chance that there's a treasure chest or a lockbox in there with doubloons or hidden DB Cooper cash, but it's not likely. In full honesty, the game has pretty good graphics and pretty good sound, but the thing I try to evaluate alongside the gameplay is it faithful to the product that's licensed from? And this one, yeah, it was written and plotted to be one-to-one to the series and its protagonist, featured on the cover. But this is what Jessica Alba looks like in real life. And here's what she looks like in Dark Angel on Xbox. Kidding. She actually looks like this. Meanwhile, a mere 3 years later, a worse playing game and worse license managed to make her look like she does in real life. Fantastic Four. This game goes through the standard stealth game levels, office interior, military warehouse with breakable crates, internal hospital setting, and of course, the aquarium. You know, that old chestnut of the aquarium. I'm saying, what? Anyway, it's an undersea base, but the graphics at this point are getting samey and threadbare. So with the final boss battle looking like this stealth action affair falls short again. This is from 1998's Metal Gear Solid on PS1. It's lit and shaded dynamically. The battle is a multi-stage affair that brings the story to a close in a climax that is now legendary. Brother against brother. Genetic modified soldier versus their evil counterpart. The same stories we're looking at in Dark Angel, and this is what it looks like through the lens of Dark Angel on Xbox. Yeah. So the game is a good length for its repetitive gameplay and makes up for its flaws by concluding the Dark Angel story. Sort of. There's a cliffhanger, so it doesn't really do much of anything. I mean, it does a somewhat decent job of it, but to me this game seems like it's keeping the story to what would be seen on a television show with the same kind of story limitations and budget instead of doing whatever they wanted to do on a video game. Like, that's the thing about video games. It gives you the freedom to do crazy stuff that you wouldn't be able to do on TV. So I don't know what the deal was, but the real question isn't why were those choices made at all. The real question is,
does Dark Angel for the original Xbox have a license to play? The answer is, no, it doesn't. This game, as you saw, has graphics that were outdated even for the time it was made. It was hastily put together, and while the story's pretty good, it still plays out like your average half of a season or half of a pilot of a season of sci-fi television, with no more bigger or lesser budget than that. So I gotta say, for Sci-Fi Month, if this is the only one I get to review and evaluate, I gotta say, Dark Angel, you didn't make the mark. Alright? If you want stealth action from that era, check out Metal Gear Solid Substance on the Xbox, or Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PlayStation 2. Anyway, folks, I do appreciate you hanging in there with me. My recent illnesses and other travesties of justice that happened recently to slow down my show haven't slowed you down. So thanks for watching the show. Thanks for sharing the show. And moreover than that, more important than anything I said during this review, or in the past, or in the future, remember to always, always, always stay retro. Peace.
Get upset on the internet. You're a salt adult. You're a salt adult. Get upset on the internet. You're a salt adult. Throwing out a hissy fit, your views ain't in the millions, and every up and comer is a threat to what you're dealing. And instead of getting better, you just spout up on your Facebook, crying on your Twitter bit about how bad your case look. In case you didn't get it yet, allow me to rephrase it. You cry more than my 4-year-old. I'm actually amazed, like you couldn't